Top of the morning to you. Thank you for joining us this great Monday morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. Great morning to you from our studio right now. It is 6:33 a.m. today, Monday, the 6th day in the month of October 2025. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo, and I welcome you to the program for today. Thank you for standing by. We pray for you that today will be a great day for you. All right, fear not. Face your challenges. Speak to it because there's power in your words. All right, use the words. Say what you want. Say what you want. As if that already exists. Do not look at the circumstances surrounding you. It might not look that clear. You might not even be sure. But you know what? Face it head on. Challenge it and speak that word because you have the power to control it. If you say yes, yes, indeed it is. Because you are made in the image of God, and indeed you are God yourself. So use the power that you have to control your day. This is Perspectives Unlimited. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is the radio station. Alafin Avenue, Oluyole, State Ibadan. Is where we're broadcasting from. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. We bring to you fresh stories from the front pages of the top dailies in Nigeria, the top newspaper in our nation for today. All of them published today, the 6th day in the month of October 2025. This morning on the program, we have the Punch newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune, and the Guardian. From the three of them, I will take you through the headlines right in front of, the dailies. And right after that, we get straight into in-depth analysis, the segment where we help you understand, make better decision, by, putting light in the dark and gray areas of the stories. Once again, you're welcome to the show. All right, let's start with the Punch newspaper on page 9. Petrol remains 865 naira per litre amid Dangote's free delivery. Petrol remains 865 naira per litre amid Dangote's free delivery. On page 23, FX inflows push naira to 1,000 naira, 465 naira per dollar. It's on page 23 of the Punch. On page 9, Nigeria's trade with African countries surged by 610 billion naira. You find it on page 9. Moving on to page 8 of the Punch. Fubara's men absent as Gov's reunion with Wike. Fubara's men absent at Gov's reunion with Wike. It's on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. On page 2 of the same Punch, which is the major story on the front page of the Punch for today, terrorism, retired generals back calls for state of emergency. The rider says ex-military chief, state of emergency will speed up anti-insurgency effort. Another rider says only large-scale troop deployment can defeat Boko Haram, says Northern Elders. And finally, with the riders, Borno dismisses call, says the rabble entitled to opinion. Now let's move on to another story here. E1 Lagos, Brazilian team win Lagos electric boat race. And moving on to page 3, how Osun Amotekun shot 2 siblings dead, says stepmother. And on page 4 and 5, gunmen kill 4 shoot teenager near Lagos barracks, on page 4 and 5. And finally on page 7, NMA conducts court order checks on Kano submit report. That you have on page 7 of the Punch. Let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. Cooking gas scarcity pushes price to 3,000 naira per kilogram. It's on page 5 of The Guardian. And on page 3, confusion, a status quo order pits police against the NBA. It's on page 3 of The Guardian. On the same page, Lagos resident lament flash flooding, urge government to enforce planning laws. You find that story on page 3 of The Guardian. On page 6, government will earn 1 trillion naira yearly from capital gains as new tax causes stir. You find that story on page 6 of The Guardian. On page 4, World Teachers' Day, Tinubu NLC British Council lament education challenges on page 4. On page 7, Tinubu's visit Oti Kalu trade words ahead of Abia 2027. Brewers kick against tax stamp rollout, one of inflationary impact. It's on page 18 of The Guardian. Cardoso single-digit inflation remains a medium-term target. You find it on page 15. Plot to remove Chinda divides House of Representatives on page 3. On page 6, fresh violence, mass displacement, test Gov's grid on security on page 6. And finally, on page 12, which is the editorial, and rascality, vested interest in Nigeria's downstream petroleum industry now. And rascality, vested interest in Nigeria's downstream petroleum industry now. And finally, let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune on page 3. Tinubu PDP chieftain hails Okpebolo's road infrastructure renovation on page 3. On page 6, digital payment race heat up. Fintechs drive 71.5 trillion naira transactions as banks monetize digital growth. On page 6, let's move on to page 7 of the Tribune. World Teachers' Day. NUT laments manpower crisis with shortage of 194,876 teachers. Demand enhanced salary structure. Once against commercialization of education, urges federal government to restore TRCN on budget lists. And finally, federal government promises better deal for teachers. It's a total package. All of that you'll find on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Now let's move on to page 22. 2027. There's a big story here. It's about the ADC and Obi together stating around confusion about his moves. And the party must consider zoning to the south, says Tanko Yunusa. He's running away from contest, says NWC member, and next election will be 3-horse race, says Chekwa Sokore. You find it on page 22. Now to page 4 of the Tribune. Kwara scraps PTA levy, approves grants for public primary schools. On page 3, Wike Fubara, warring political actors unite in Port Harcourt. Health, individuals with rectal bleeding are 8.5 times more likely to have colorectal cancer, says study. On page 5, Dangote Refinery commends Tinubu security chiefs for averting Pengasans disruption. That story you also find this morning on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning on the program Perspectives Unlimited. And thank you so much for joining us. That's all we can give to you. You know, on the front page of we read from The Punch, we also read from The Guardian and the Nigerian Tribune. We move on straight right now to in-depth analysis to help you understand the stories making the rounds in the nation today. And right after that, or right in between that, the studio lines will be thrown upon for you to also, join the conversation, share your thoughts, your perspective. Remember, the name of the program is Perspectives Unlimited. And, of course, the program is your program for you. And, of course, to be a part of nation building. Find us on our Facebook page to watch us live this morning on Facebook, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. And also, you can listen live on our website, www.wellsradio wellsradio893.com, and also by listening live to us on Radio Garden, Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Good morning and welcome to the program. Let's start the program this morning. Once again, we're live on Facebook. You can watch us right there. And even on YouTube, our YouTube page, Wells Radio 893 FM. On YouTube, you can watch us live right on that platform this great morning. Thank you for joining us. Chukwemeka Munachiso joins me in the studio this morning. And together, we will be having a conversation around Nigeria today. Great morning to you, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I'm always doing fine.
All right.
By
You're
the
welcome.
special grace of God.
You're welcome to the program today.
Yeah, thank you.
How was your weekend, by the way?
It was fine. The weekend was fine, and we take the weekend to unwind and then do some other things we need to do. It's not all about reading and writing. You have to take time off, and it helps me. It gives me the opportunity to attend to my garden.
Well, your garden.
Yes.
How is it? How is your garden now?
It's doing well. It's doing well.
Your garden seems to be your newfound love.
Yes. No, it's gardening is therapeutic to me. It helps me a lot when you plant something and see it grow. It gives you a clear understanding that creation is not in a hurry. I learn a lot when I observe those things I plant and how they grow. Creation is not in a hurry, and you don't even know when it is growing, but it's growing. Creation is very quiet. It's destruction that is very loud. When something is being created, you may not know it is growing, but destruction is always very loud. It comes with a bang. Creation doesn't come with a bang.
Wow, that's a great one. Even for living things, human being.
Yes.
Sometimes when you're growing,
You will know.
you don't know. You just wake up one day and you see you're 50 years old.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes you just wish you're younger, but you just wake up and whoom, where's the time? And then all of that is gone. So creation is silent, you said.
Yes.
Wow, what a great one to start our day with. Creation is a very silent one. All right. So sometimes you're growing, but you don't even know.
You don't even know.
And this also brings how we pressure ourselves.
It
as
is not.
human
It's not
beings.
necessary. Not necessary.
Because you're growing.
You are growing. Look, Ayo, you see this world, the cosmos has been programmed. That's why when you cut corners, you end up in a bad corner, because there are some things you must pass through. If you fast forward your growth, you end up in a ditch. You can't be happy. That's why there is good success and there's bad success. You understand? And that you are successful by cutting corners does not mean you are successful. You are a failure. As far as the cosmos is concerned, you are a big failure. Even though seemingly you may look successful, but you know what you did to get to that level. You are a complete failure.
Wow, that's a very strong one this morning. All right, let's get to work. Let's start with the Teachers' Day. Yesterday, the 5th of October, World Teachers' Day in 2025. That happens to be on a Sunday, and that yesterday dedicated to raising public awareness on issues related to teachers and teaching in the nation. On the front page of the Tribune this morning, World Teachers' Day, NUT laments manpower crisis with shortage of 194,876 teachers. The writer says demand enhanced salary structure. Another writer says once against commercialization of education. Another says urges federal government to restore TRCN on budget lists, and federal government promises better deal for teachers. Like they say, teaching profession is a noble one. However, is that the same in Nigeria? As you see that in Nigeria, when people are unemployed or still trying to get their, dream or desired job, the next place to settle for, the next thing to do, usually is teaching. And if you ask me, Chukwemeka, the result of that is what we're seeing with education today. Fluctuation in performance in WAEC, in NECO, in JAMB. We're seeing that even for those who, tutor with 6th grade courses like the SATs and the likes, they would tell you how challenging the A levels and the likes, how challenging it has been for young ones to be able to catch up with the syllabus on time or maybe even in time. I know that yesterday someone shared with me that in their church, the pastor called all of the teachers, prayed for them, raised an offering, and then right after raising the offering, told all of the teachers to wait behind and ask that they share the offering with the teachers. No matter what would get to you, even if it is 5 naira, let it touch your hand. And after receiving it, he blessed them and said, yes, the teaching profession may not be lucrative in Nigeria, but you wake up every morning, you give your best as much as you can, and you will never lack. As prophetic as that can be, it's also a pointer that there is something going on in the teaching profession when it comes to remuneration. You are way older. Walk us through what the teaching profession used to be like. Has it always been like this?
No.
Were there times when it used to be profitable? See, ASU is speaking. So it's not, peculiar to the NUT, maybe in the primary and secondary alone. Even at the higher institution, teaching profession is not that attractive anymore.
You see, Ayo, when we are growing up, it was not like this when Nigeria began. It was not like this. We had sound education, well-qualified, trained teachers. But when the military scuttled every progress we made in the history of our education in this country, when they dabbled into education, in their so-called bid to balance things so that the so-called educationally disadvantaged states will meet up, our problem in education started with the military. Once they got involved in education, everything went down the drain. Those you call the educational disadvantaged state, is there any human being that said they should not go to school? It is their choice. You now made that sector to be retarded because of some group of people. Because you wanted them to meet up. How will they meet up when they are not interested in it? I remember when we were growing up, to be a teacher is not a tea party. It's not. And even teachers, apart from what government was paying them then, communities contribute to give things to teachers. You see a teacher, you see farmers, you see traders, you see them bringing something to the teacher's house. Most teachers don't even live on their salary because they were appreciated. Because we know that these people are molding lives. There is no human being that did not pass through the hand of a teacher. But look at the caliber of leaders we started having. They are not even interested in education. You cannot, there will be no improvement in that sector if those who are in leadership position are not even interested in education, do not even understand what education means, do not even know the impact of education on a society. There's no uhuru. So, teachers must be well respected and remunerated. But are we doing it? We brought a lot of children here for what do they call it, excursion. When we asking them question, how many of them said they want to be teachers? None.
You hardly find.
You hardly find any one of them because they know that it does not pay again. And that is what, but can we do without, I've not been to UK, but some of my friends in UK tell me that before you become a teacher in UK, it's like passing, how do they say it? It's very difficult because you will pass through a lot of tests. Because they understand that, look, this person is molding the future of our country. Do we care? Our leaders, do they care what the teachers are teaching? I was passing somewhere one day, as in my area, as a private school, a teacher was during that day I didn't come to work on time, and the teacher was singing with the children. What are they has come? What are you? The teacher was saying, Buki, have you eat? That's what the teacher was. A teacher, have you eat? Have you eat? And he was saying it on top of our voice. What will that person teach our children?
A child, yeah.
That is it. You understand? So, Ayo, when I look at our country and so many sectors of this, you begin to wonder, how will God fix this thing? Can we still be fixed? Because everything has gone to the drug. In fact, people that are even helping this country are private schools. Private schools have come to the rescue, because go to government schools and see what is going on there. Dilapidated roofs, dilapidated buildings, leaking roofs everywhere. And yet, they have people there. It's called, when you don't motivate a teacher, what will he teach? If we come there and just garbage in and garbage out and go his way, after all, in fact, unless our leaders have a rethink, and of which I don't think they will have, because they are so fixated, obsessed with leadership, and they don't even know what leadership is all about. They don't even care. The people you are leading, are you making impact on their life? That's the question. Because I remember, imagine that time we were growing up in the Southwest here, they had free education by Awolowo. In the Southeast, we are paying some amount of money, but very little. But I remember vividly that every now and then they will give us pencil, exercise book, 2A, 2B, 2C. They will share it to all of us to encourage us. You understand? There were competitions. You are not promoted unless you pass. Today, whether you pass or not, they promote you. Nobody even cares about scholarship. Look, society that does not reward teachers will never encourage scholarship. It's not possible. Even if, but it's not too late in the day for us to go back if we get it right at the leadership as level. Because everything boils down on leadership. Go to Ghana. There was a time Ghanaian teachers flooded Nigeria. What did they brought scholarship. When you listen to a Ghanaian teacher, you know that yes, this person is trained. But look at our own teachers. They are professionals, they are well trained, but look at what we are doing to them. Do we pay them well? No. When you don't pay teachers, that's why you go to some government schools. You see a teacher that is selling Ankara. You see a teacher that during break, he will give children things to go and hawk for him or her. How do we continue this way? Go to this area, go to some government schools around us here. Go and you see children hawking things for their teachers because the teacher must leave. When you send them to the marketplace, they will abandon teaching because they must leave. If we care for them, we will not be where we are today. Teachers are very important, and I respect teachers. I remember a woman who encouraged me, a reverend sister, in my secondary school. I was not good in literature. She came to me and sat me down and talked to me. I became the best in our class because she encouraged me. A reverend, I can't forget that woman. I can't. Because she encouraged me. You understand? Do our teachers have time to even encourage? When you are telling a teacher to go and counsel a student, he himself needs counseling.
Absolutely. Teachers across Nigeria have renewed calls for improved welfare, better working conditions, and the full implementation of the 65-year retirement age policy as the nation joins the rest of the world to mark the 2025 World Teachers' Day. At various events held nationwide, teachers' unions and education stakeholders decried the slow pace of policy implementation, poor remuneration, and inadequate teaching facilities, which they said continue to undermine the quality of education. They urged federal and state government to prioritize teachers' welfare and ensure that promises made to the education sector are fulfilled. World Teachers' Day is celebrated worldwide on the 5th of October every year. Let's talk about the full implementation of the 65-year retirement age policy very quickly. Do you think any teacher should still be in the classroom at, say, in their 60s or 65 years old?
When I was growing up, we saw teachers 65, and they were the best. They handled us very well. They're not just about teaching. When they sit you down and talk to you, you know that this person is talking out of wisdom. You understand? If they say 65, it's okay. But the issue is not even the age. What are we doing to encourage teachers? Go to government-owned schools around us. Are your windows falling apart, leaking roofs? Teachers are not. You know that this one just came here, teach them and go home. He doesn't even care about the children. And these children, and we are talking of Next year, everything will go to CBT. How many schools? I went to a particular village in Iseyin. I went there. I went to do something. I went to the only primary school they have in that place. I now saw children everywhere. Only 2 teachers. How can 2 teachers manage all this crowd? And I asked them. They say the teachers that they refuse to come there. It's a village. Now, what they do is that
because of the quality of life,
they come on Monday, they come on Wednesday, they come on Friday. Children are left on their own playing around. That child is expected to come and write computer-based test. Where has he seen computer before? He has not seen computer. Are we serious in what we are doing? You said that next year we go to. There's no light in that community. Children everywhere, only 2 teachers. In fact, I volunteered to go and help. The short time I stayed there. Now, what are they? Those children, what are they going to learn? What are they? Tell me what those children are. Because we don't have leadership. Look, it will take a statesman to turn Nigeria around, not politicians. Politicians, they are only interested in winning election. Statesmen, Chief Awolowo was a statesman. Nnamdi Azikiwe was a statesman. Many of them were statesmen. And look at what they didn't care about winning election. They cared about their people. That's why if you see an average Yoruba man that is above 60, he still remember what Awolowo did because he was a statesman. He affected the life of his people. Politicians don't affect lives. What they're after is winning election by fair or foul means.
All right, let's take a break. We wish all our teachers happy Teachers' Day, whether retired or still in active service. If you instruct in any way, we wish you happy Teachers' Day, and we pray that your reward will be on earth, not in heaven, anymore. As they used to say, you're a teacher, you're going to get your reward here.
You must start from here.
You're going to get it here. We're going to take a break now. When we come back right after the break, Chukwemeka, we're going to talk about the cost of cooking gas and the scarcity of cooking gas right now in the market. Please stay with us.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you ready to showcase your brand to the heartbeat of Africa's broadcasting industry? At Africast 2025, the premier gathering of broadcasters, content creators, and media innovators, your business gets the spotlight it deserves. From October 20th to 24th at the Balmoral Convention Center, Sheraton, Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria, thousands of industry leaders and decision makers will connect, explore, and invest in the future of broadcasting. Book your exhibition booth today and put your products, services, and ideas in front of the people who matter most. Don't just attend Africast 2025. Be seen, be heard, and be inspired. Visit www.africastexpo.com or email info@nbc.gov.ng to secure your registration now. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
There is a reason for which God put you where you are. You need to find it so that you can live a life of impact.
It's something new on Wells Radio 89.3 FM Ibadan.
Today is your day of freedom. Today is your day of deliverance.
It's Moving Forward with Pastor Sarah, a 15-minute teaching of God's Word by Pastor Sarah Omaku, Senior Pastor, Family Worship Center. The world is filled with bad news, fear, and anxiety. But God's timeless word brings good news of hope and victory.
If God says you can, you can. If God says you can move, you can move. If God says you will make it, you will make it. Nobody can stop you.
Join Pastor Sarah Omaku on Wells Radio 89.3 FM Ibadan and learn how to win a life using God's word every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 7:45 p.m. Moving forward with Pastor Sarah on the station. Don't miss it.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go! Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back to the program. Thank you for joining the conversation this morning. This is Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. The studio lines are open now for you to contribute on our last story about the World Teachers Day. 0916-893-1000, 0915-334-893, and 0911-3333. That's 333 and then 3893. Let's talk about cooking gas scarcity, which pushes the price of cooking gas to 3,000 naira per kilogram. And despite the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) reporting a drop in the average cost of refilling a 5 kilogram cylinder of LPG, which is cooking gas, from 8,243 naira 79 kobo in July to 6,404 2 kobo in August 2025, the Guardian Market Survey reveals a sharp surge in retail prices, with a kilogram now selling between 1,800 naira and 3,500 naira across part of Lagos and Ogun State. At a Jeshatedo in Lagos State, a customer who struggled to refill her cylinder described the experience as frustrating and exhausting. She said that long queues had become a daily ordeal, with retailers selling between 3,000 naira and 3,500 naira per kilogram, while filling stations offer slightly lower, between 2,500, often with hundreds of customers waiting for their turn. She recounted how she spent hours searching for gas the previous day and eventually gave up, searching for. At the popular, gas station very close to ours here in Oluyole, I saw the footage, I think on Friday. It's almost as though there's a campaign or a crusade going on in their premises, as you see, some of the retailers with their own very huge cylinders, or those who do heavy cooking or heavy duty cooking, like caterers, institutions that cater for large number of people, with their heavy duty cylinders waiting to, buy. Amid all of this, the story here on The Guardian this morning says the cooking gas scarcity pushes price to 3,000 naira per kilogram. Would like to have your experience with cooking gas. How much, did you buy lately, or did you buy, maybe 2-3 days ago? Let's get the price, the figure. Is it, accurate? Is it very similar to what we have on The Guardian this morning? Before we make our way in on that. Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, Ruth calling from Malakia.
Good morning, Ruth from Malakia. Thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I wish all the great nation builders.
Hello, Ruth. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Ruth. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I wish all the great nation builders happy Teachers Day. But it's a pity our government failed to value them when it comes to their welfare. I'll just use this opportunity to implore our government, they should please take those steps in prioritizing their welfare, because that's what really will make them keep doing their work effectively. So now we urge the Oyo State government, they should please not to relent in prioritizing the teachers' welfare, and we keep saying that it's low. So we'll continue to help our government. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you for calling, Chukwemeka.
You see, congratulations to Nupeng and the suffering they have inflicted on Nigerians. Because when they started this their brouhaha with Dangote as a refinery, look at the consequences. Because when we say that Nigerians, that politicians don't care about Nigerians, labor unions, do they care about Nigerians? Do they even care about the welfare of the people? When you embark on your so-called, because of your selfish interest, you wanted, you are fighting for your group. Dangote accuse you people of collecting 50,000 naira on each truck that leaves his refinery. Up to today, they have not come to deny it.
To deny the accusation.
They didn't come. Now, look at you shut down the gas flow. Look at the problem you've created for Nigerians. Tomorrow you come out and say that our politicians are not treating Nigerians well. What is the essence of unionism? If not for the welfare, is it only all Nigerians do we belong to Pengasin? Look at everybody is suffering the consequences of their thoughtless action. Now, you said they're selling kg at 1,800 naira. It's going to be like that because a lot of stations I visited over the week, I wanted to refill my own. I couldn't get. The only one I saw was selling at 1,700 naira per kg. And I discovered that also that even the women that are selling charcoal, they have equally jacked up their price.
Jacked up the prices.
That is.
I mean, this is Nigeria. That's how it works.
It is wrong. It is wrong. We cannot continue living this way. People should not be left at the mercy of the market forces. Our unions must. Now you have created a problem for ordinary Nigerians who don't even know where the Dangote refinery is, who don't even know what people are fighting for. Look at what we are suffering now, and it will take almost about weeks before this, because a lot of people are benefiting out of this. Even those who had old stock will still be selling at a very high price now, because it's all about profit. It's not about the people. So that's why I say congratulations to Nupeng. Look at what they have created. So tomorrow they will embark on another thing. NLC and all of them will come out and say, and we are not fighting for Nigerians. You are simply, before you take, leadership is that before you embark on something, what will be the effect on the generality of the people? Is it in public interest? Or is it only for the narrow interest of the unions? That is the question. Look at where we are today. 1,800 naira per kg. Something that was selling in my area, I bought it last, 950 naira.
And even with the 950 naira, a lot of Nigerians, you call that expensive.
Expensive. You understand? But now, 1,800 naira. So where will they get the money?
In between minimum wage not sufficient or insufficient, and then there's a sharp, increase in a basic need as cooking gas at the moment, as you hardly find. These days, most families now use cooking gas rather than kerosene. It's been a while.
Kerosene is expensive, and when you say ozone layer, climate change, you are encouraging people to go and cut wood. That's what they are doing. Indirectly, you are encouraging people to go and use firewood, and the consequences of using.
Somehow
they must eat.
You must survive.
And there is no electricity for you to use electric. What do they call it?
Even if you have,
remember how much you will pay.
You need to cost you.
Is a catch-22 situation.
Well, the president of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Olatunbosun Oladapo, attributed the scarcity and sharp rise in the cost to a temporary supply distortion triggered by the Pengasan strike and the internal maintenance at the Dangote refinery. He said that while the strike disrupted vessel berthing at Lagos Terminal, the NLNG had supplied Port Harcourt in large volumes, which explains why the South-South region did not experience the same level of scarcity. Oladapo added that normalcy is expected to return within days as Dangote and other suppliers would soon resume full-scale loading. And so sometimes when Nigerians take sides with either the other party or the other party, this is the consequences of our taking sides.
Yes,
so
that's
whether
it.
you are for or against, if you exhaust your cooking gas, you're going to be buying at the selling price in the market. We need to make good decisions. 0916 893 1000, 0915 334 893, and 0911 3333 893. I would like to know the current cost of cooking gas in your area. Did you buy recently? Let us know what that costs. Terrorism, retired generals back calls for state emergency. Senior retired military officers have backed the call by a former Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, retired, for the declaration of state of emergency to effectively address the Boko Haram insurgency. In his new book, Scars, Nigeria's Journey at the Boko Haram, Rabo argued that the absence of political will had hindered Nigeria's response to insurgency, stressing that an emergency proclamation backed by the National Assembly would mobilize all elements of national power towards ending the war. Rabo, who served as the CDS under Buhari's administration, wrote, the government had not yet mustered the political will and instrument to declare a war against Boko Haram. While an emergency proclamation backed by the National Assembly, there will be greater and more focused attention by the government to galvanize all the elements of national power towards the war. It should be noted the strategy deals with the aggregate of the element of national power. These include economic, political, social, diplomatic, information, and the military. You can read the rest of that on the Punch this morning. General Lucky Rabo wrote a book titled Scars, Nigeria's Journey and the Boko Haram in the nation. It's shocking to see that Lucky Rabo, who put out too many statements when he was Chief of Defense Staff, is now saying that the government had not mustered the political will.
It has not.
And the instrument to declare a war against Boko Haram. Though a lot Nigerians can tell and can see this already. Lucky Rabo was there.
That's the gospel truth, Ayo.
For a long time. Why are we getting this now?
Yes, they always say the truth when they leave office. When they are there, they go dumb, deaf. But when they leave, that's what do they call it? Something that we call scales. We fall off their eyes and they begin to see clearly. You understand? That's the gospel truth. Government has no ambition to curtail terrorism or banditry. They have not mustered the will because they want to be politically correct. They want to continue to win election. Look, you cannot tackle insecurity without a clear rule of engagement. No reasonable country discusses or enters into so-called peace treaty with terrorists or bandits. It's the duty of the state to kill terrorists and bandits. It's the duty and send them to their maker. When they go to God, God will now grant them amnesty or peace, or even deploy them into the heavenly army, if there's anything like that. It is not the responsibility of the state to dialogue with terrorists like we see all over the north. It's not the responsibility of the state to enter into peace treaty. You don't do that with criminals. You kill them. When you kill them, then they will go to heaven. If they are going there, when they reach there, then they will make peace with God. If God forgives them, the state is not in a position to grant amnesty to terrorists who have raped, maimed, and killed people. And you are saying you are engaging them in peace. What peace? What are they fighting for in the first place? And some people are making reference with Niger Delta amnesty that Yar'Adua did. They were fighting for ecological degradation of their land. These terrorists, what are they fighting for? Look at the Mamuda. Kwara has been sacked. Communities in the fellow local government area has been sacked. What are they fighting for? If you arrest them now and ask them, what are you fighting for? Nothing. And yet the state is granting them amnesty, dialoguing with them. That's why we cannot win this war unless we muster the courage, like Rabo said in his book, and take the battle to them. Nigeria has what it takes. And the war we are fighting is a selectional war. Because if this thing happening in the north is happening in the south or southeast, you think it will be like that? They will level the whole village.
Whatever Lucky Rabo said is not what Nigerians don't know. It's not what Nigerians don't perceive or think. However, why do you think the government is dragging its feet on this matter from one administration onto the next administration? And it seemed to be getting, it's getting full blown by the day.
I will tell you why.
Why do you think? Is there any economic implication to this? Is there any political strength? Is it portraying, leadership in a certain good light? Is there any form of financial grants or loans that is coming in? Why do you think the government seem to be dragging?
I will tell you this. We have not defined what Nigeria is. If we define Nigeria as a nation under one flag, and we know that when a leader emerges, is a leader for all Nigerians, not 95%. You are leading the whole country, and there is a definition. What is our national ethos? What do we belong? What do we believe in as a people? We don't have anything. The only thing binding us together is oil and football. Remove these two to your tents, O Israel. Look at the polarization of Nigerians along ethnic and religious lines. These days, go to the Facebook and see the spat going on among Nigerians. Bitterness, hatred for no reason. Because our leaders believe that is what will keep them in power. When you polarize the people, you remain in power. But that will be you cannot even, they're not even interested in delivering any dividends of democracy. Just like you go to the Arab world. If you want to remain relevant in the Arab world and remain in power, hate the Jews and Israel, you will remain there. People will not care, even if they are hungry. As far as you hate the Jews or Israel, you remain in power. Come to our country. Once you polarize the people along ethnic and religious lines, forget about it. People will be fighting for you because you are from their own ethnicity. Is that how to rule a country? Under Buhari, we talk of colonization of Nigeria. You heard of it now? All the portfolios. Look at what we are doing in Nigeria. Is it not urbanization of Nigeria? Now, the Southwest was at the forefront of restructuring. Are they still talking about restructuring? They are not talking about it again because their man is in power. We must tell ourselves the truth. But if we have a country all of us believe in, people will still remain what they are asking for because they know that this is for the good of all the parts of this country. But we are not. So when our man is there, we swallow some things. When another person comes over, we bring it up again. That is not how to run a country. Until we define who we are as a people. I believe in Nigeria, and Nigeria must work. So if we define it, government will muster courage to wage war against anybody trying to scatter this country. But they are not being selective because there's no definition. They have not defined. That's why Awolowo said Nigeria is just a mere geographical expression. You know what that means? We have not been able to identify. Go to the street and ask, and have the man is showing the street, are you a Nigerian? He will first of all tell you I'm an Igbo man. Because there's no unity of purpose. Only football and oil. What keeping us? Can that sustain us? It cannot sustain us. We must believe in something that, no matter where you are coming from in Nigeria, no matter your religion, you cannot cross this line. There's no line anybody will not cross in Nigeria. If you are coming from the favored tribe or favored religion, there's no line. But that's not how to run a country. You run a country whereby everybody is under one flag. What is good for A should be good for B. What is bad for A should be bad for B. That's the way we run a country, and that's why we are just rigmaroling, going, leaders will come and leaders will go. Nothing is happening because there is no definition of where are we going as a people. A leader that knows where he's going, we know where to take the people to. Do we have such leaders? Yar'Adua came. Look at what he did. Irrespective of all the things against him, he did something in the South that gave us peace, industrial peace, and oil was flowing. People are still saying that the bandits and terrorists should be granted amnesty as they did for the Niger Delta agitators. What are the bandits and terrorists agitating for? Tell me what they're agitating for. What is at the back of their mind? To overrun a country? And we have all the instruments of coercion at our disposal, and we are not deploying it to give it to them. We are granting them amnesty. The duty of the state is to kill terrorists, bandits. Let God forgive them when they meet their maker.
All right, let God forgive them when they meet their maker. We hope that, this is coming from a former chief of defense staff. Of course, we get books almost at the end of every. There are still like 5 books that I look forward to
I want to go and get them.
from 5 different personalities. I look forward to their books because I know that there's a lot for them to say, and then they can't say now until they leave. And as beautiful as it is, it just makes a political shelf in the bookstore. It makes it look very good. Yet the people you write the books for cannot even afford to buy the books.
It's too expensive.
Because unfortunately, the cheapest of these books is like 20,000 naira.
How will you cover
right? And so who exactly, and then piracy will now override it because people are now looking for soft copies. For those who now even care to read. Because rather than read from you, I would have expected that maybe in the capacity of leadership in office, you would have been able to do something rather than come and then give us some beautiful literature and storyline to have conversation
There
about.
is something you understand. If our leaders are readers, we can't be the way we are today.
So why are they writing books?
They don't read.
Why are they writing books?
These people don't read any, even newspaper. People who read the ones they want to read for them. They don't read. If they are reading, we can't be like this. Go and check. I have read histories of great leaders.
Let's take this call. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling.
George from Ologwe.
You're welcome. Thank you.
They are writing books. Is it the books that is going to change the situations that they have created when they were in the office? It will not change it. When you are there, you allow so many things to go wrong. And by the time you leave office, you start writing books. Can the books correct the errors you have created when you are in the office? We are restricting ourselves. If we want Nigeria to be good, it will be good. If they continue this, let them continue. I think people are going to be suffering for cooking gas. Let's go on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. George. If we want Nigeria to be good, it will be good.
It will.
That's another strong statement this morning.
It will.
Do we truly want Nigeria to be good?
We the people want Nigeria but our leaders, look at some of our leaders, some of them have dual citizenship. Some of them, they don't even care. Where are they sending their children to school? Their wives, everything. Look, Ayo, a leader is a reader. I was privileged to enter, when this man was alive, Chief Nnamdi Azikiwe in Nsukka. I was working with Daily Star newspaper as in Enugu. I was among those decided to go and interview him in his house. Brother, if you enter this man's house and they drop you from on top of his books, the person will go to Ibobi.
I mean, even if we go to some of our current leaders, they also have a very large book library.
No, that one is ornament. They use it for decoration. Do you know, we asked this man, old man, we asked him, can you tell us, the man went to the shelf and brought one book. You know where, if he was not reading it, he would know where he kept it. He went and brought it. I was shocked. Very frail old man. You understand? Our leaders, we use it as ornament. They don't read it. Ornament is what you use to decorate your house. So when you come, they will think you're intellectual, but engage him in conversation. You got that this person is empty.
I mean, interior designers now recommend bookshelves. It makes the space also look very beautiful. Let's take our final story before we go. Fubara's men absent at Gov's reunion with Wike. At signs of renewed reconciliation between Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his political mentor, now the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, appeared to be emerging following a high-level meeting of key political stakeholders in Port Harcourt. The closed-door meeting held on Saturday night brought together Fubara, members of the Rivers Elders, local council, and the leadership of the House of Assembly, and several prominent politicians loyal to the FCT minister, including members of the Rivers State National Assembly. Although details remain sketchy as of the time of filing this report, sources said the meeting was convened at the instance of the chairman of Rivers Elders and Leaders Council. However, concerns have resurfaced over the absence of Fubara's loyalists, marking the second time such a peace gathering was reportedly dominated by Wike's camp. Fubara-Wike reconciliation, but Fubara's camp absent in the meeting.
It is not a reconciliation. I told you before that what we have in Rivers State is a piece of the graveyard. You understand? When you are not being transparent in dealing with the people, look, the politics we are playing. Now people are just. We are just exercising, our franchise, go there, vote and everything. But we cannot continue this kind of politics where an individual will dominate the landscape. An individual will come out and say, I made this person governor. Do you know what you are saying? You are equally telling people that your votes don't count. That's what you are saying. For you to have the infantry to come and say, I made this person governor, I made this person this one. If we continue in that kind of politics, we are not going nowhere. We are not. Because Democracy is about the people making their choice, which means you have taken the power to choose from the people and vested it on yourself for you to come out and say, I made this. And you are doing this because of Godfatherism. Godfatherism is euphemism for corruption. People will come to work, you say they will not work unless they dance to your tune. Who are you? Are you the state? And we say we are practicing democracy? Come on, are we sincere? We don't have. Are we sincere? We are not. That's Godfatherism. Those people that abstained, they didn't come. There is a reason why they didn't come. And the man that is throwing himself around as the godfather of River State, and people are hailing him, is a strong man. We have had a history of strong men all over Nigeria. Where are they today? I think we had one in Oyo State. How far? That is it. They don't number their days.
All right.
The good book said we must number our days. Every day you wake up, you don't have debt in your pocket. Like Yorubas say, I think it's Anikulabo. You see, you don't have debt in your pocket. Anything can happen to anybody. You must number your days, because one day you will go and meet your maker. What do you tell him? You pocketed the whole state. Will he welcome you or grant you amnesty?
All right. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka, for
Thank you for having me, Ayo.
That's our show for today, Monday, the 6th of October, 2025. Join Bolanle Odwekwayola tomorrow again on Perspectives Unlimited, as, of course, we bring you fresh stories, out of Nigeria for tomorrow. Just like, our last caller, Mr. George, mentioned, if Nigerians want Nigeria to be great, Nigeria will be great. Our leaders, inclusive, they're Nigerians too. You and I can start, with basic, basic things, and then we know them. Do not dump refuse in waterways. Obey traffic lights. Do not jump queues. Pay your tax. As little as it can be. These are things that you and I can also do. Yes, I know the conversation is, even the leaders are not doing them, but do you want Nigeria to be great? If you want Nigeria to truly be great, then you must be true to your conscience. Thank you so much for joining us. Up next is AM Sport this morning on 89.3 FM. Have a beautiful and blessed Monday. God bless you.
Please listen to this important information.